Hello, and welcome to another live ukulele lesson with me, Matt Stead. I'm super excited because this is something that I'm really passionate about. Should you or should you not learn strum patterns? Is it a black and white question? How are we going to deal with this? So I'm going to go into lots of details and explain kind of my position and how I can show you, rather than thinking about strum patterns, thinking in terms of rhythm and dynamics. And hopefully it'll make your playing sound better. It'll make everything a lot easier. And you know me, guys, that's what I'm all about. I want you to enjoy yourself rather than being stressed out when you're playing ukulele. So I'll just do a quick welcome to everyone. I hope you're all doing well, guys. Hi, Lisa. It's been great to be back. If you don't already know, this weekend, long weekend. It's nearly been a week actually. I've been in Spain on the awesome Andalusian ukulele adventure, which, by the way, was absolutely fantastic. We had a few days out in Spain learning ukulele, eating lovely tapas, walking around in the sunshine, and it's just beautiful. It was gorgeous up there. Matt's going to be arranging another one with me in October. We're going to do a smaller one, and then again in May we're going to do another one, which is really exciting. So keep in touch for that, and I'll let you know what's happening. Leslie's tuning in from the south of France. 25th anniversary. Happy anniversary, Leslie, which is great. And Leslie's coming over to England in about a week's time. So hopefully we're going to meet up. So you can see me in person, Leslie, rather than through the screen for once. That's really, really exciting. So I need to get on with the gardening as well, Karen. I haven't done anything for a week and it's looking a little bit messy. But at least we had some rain the other night, so it's all good. Hi everyone, fantastic. If you haven't already taken part in one of these, what I recommend is if you follow the link in the description or in the top of the comments, and you can download the worksheets. If you haven't done them yet, don't worry, because I'm going to be talking you through everything, so you can use them as a reference afterwards. So if you don't have them right now, don't panic. And members that are members of my website, mattsteadukulele.com, where you'll find all 10 of my courses and all the other fun and games stuff. You get the worksheets at no extra cost with your subscription as well. Couple of little things to tell you about just before we get started. We missed a week of Canny Mondays. So the next Monday session, which is the Monday coming, we're going to be back to Canny, which is going to be super, super excited. Worksheets are up on the site now, so you can download those, so you can learn to play by ear. And then the week after, we'll be back to our Melodic Mondays, which is, again, really, really cool. I love Melodic Mondays. Last time we learned a beautiful piece called Out on the Ocean. We'll have another piece of music to learn. And, of course, in a fortnight's time, we're going to have another one of these. And this time, we're going to learn a beautiful chord melody, a really simple version of Elvis's Can't Help Falling in Love. Wise men sing, you know, as it goes, which is going to be great. That's 2 weeks today, which is going to be fantastic. And as well as learning how chord melody works, I'm going to show you a really nice version where we're going to do finger picking as well. So some proper, really nice finger style stuff, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. Hi Victoria, lurking, but oh, no worries, no worries. There you go. You can practice your not strumming in a minute, Victoria. You'll be absolutely fine. Just do it quietly and you won't get caught out. Okay, right, let's have a look at the sheets then, and I'll explain how it's going to work. What we're going to do is I'm going to talk you through the worksheets. I'm going to explain how I do things in terms of strumming and whatnot. And then I'm going to bring some example songs on. And if you want the sheets for the songs that I bring on, I'll put them on the Facebook group, and I'll link to YouTube, but they'll be totally free. So you can find those later on and join in. But just for now, I'll bring them up on screen. So first of all, the most important thing is to clarify a couple of things. First of all, what do we mean by strum patterns? So strum patterns are those little kind of formulas which teach you how to play in a particular rhythm and a particular style. And more often than not, they're shown as a series of Ds for downs, and use for ups, or you can see arrows as well as another form. So you might have things like the island strum, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Hi Sarah, good to see you made it. I got your message, Sarah. It's all gone through your membership and everything, so it's all good. Thanks for doing that. And then you might have something like a kind of a calypso strum. You might have the island strum, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down. You might have something with chucking. So there's all sorts of strum patterns, and they can be useful. But why do I discourage kind of beginners and people that are starting out into their ukulele not to obsess with strum patterns? Well, there's a few reasons, and the first is to help you guys. So rather than this being like don't think of it as an antagonistic thing, rather than that, think of it as a positive thing. When I was crossing over from guitar to ukulele 25, 30 years ago, one of the things that I found tricky was obsessing over whether I was strumming up and down. And I don't know, maybe mention this in the comments if any of you have been through this. Sometimes you get so het up on whether you're on an up or a down strum that it kind of makes you feel tense and kind of robotic. So you might be like down, up, down, and it kind of makes you nervous. It introduces anxiety into your playing, and anxiety is really the enemy of really natural playing. So that's my main reason, in fact, for not particularly liking strum patterns. Another problem that you can sometimes get with strum patterns is if you play in a group and every single person is doing the same thing. So you've got, say, 30 ukulele players all strumming exactly the same way. It kind of sounds a bit boring. It's lovely, and I love playing in groups, but you could do so much. You could have one person, you could have a group of people doing a basic pattern. You could have another group of people doing the backbeat. You could have some people picking, or even improvising. You could have other people playing up the fretboard with some interesting chords. And it creates a really nice texture in the music and makes it sound much, much nicer, which is really, really lovely. The other thing is, even if you're playing solo, if you think about one pattern for a whole song, again, you lose the dynamics and interests of building to a crescendo and coming back down. I'll give you an example. We're going to look at this in more detail later on, and I'm actually going to teach this to you, so hopefully you'll enjoy it. It's quite a sad song by REM, Everybody Hurts. But I just wanted to show you something. Here we go. Here's a couple of examples. So let me just, in fact, actually, if I just bring the chords on for now, just so you can see how it goes. Now, this one, everybody knows it, and we're going to listen to it later on and work out how best to get the rhythm. But we have when day is long, C to F. Keep doing that again and again if you want to try. And the night is yours alone. So we've got that for the verses. The chorus is very similar. It goes D minor to G. Don't let yourself go. 'Cause everybody cries. That's basically the whole song. Then we have a bridge later on, which I'm not even going to worry about too much, but it goes E to A minor. Don't throw your hands. But just for now, I wanted to show you something interesting. Now, I'm going to really exaggerate this, but this is what you wouldn't want with this song, right? We all know it, don't we? But if you played the whole thing like this. When the day is long and the night is yours alone. It kind of, you lose that really nice sensitivity in the song and you lose that breakdown. So let's have a look at what you could do for this as an example. Oh, sorry guys, I just realised I missed a load of comments. So yeah, Karen says she got hung up on down, up, and now just opts for the rhythm. And don't worry guys, I'm not just going to do this in abstract. I'll show you physically how it works in a minute. So yeah. The first time you did the island strum, it felt like a breakthrough. Yeah, we've all been there, Linda. Yeah, it feels like you can finally do something, doesn't it? Which is exciting. So yeah, Angela's discovered a pop-out chat. I didn't even know you could do that, Angela. So you're teaching me something new. And Lance has dropped in from Bakersfield. Hi guys. Now let's have a listen. We could do something like this. And this is actually what we are going to do. We could start with picking, then build up the dynamics, and then start adding more and more things. So this won't be perfect, I might go wrong, but have a listen. I'll try and let me just tilt down so you can maybe see a little bit more of what I'm doing with my fingers. When the day is long and the night is yours alone. When you're sure you've had enough of this life, will hang on. Don't let yourself go, 'cause everybody cries and everybody hurts sometimes. Sometimes everything is wrong. Now it's time to sing along when your day is not alone. If you feel like letting go, if you think you've had too much of this life, well, hang on. I'm going to ease off here now. 'Cause everybody hurts. Take comfort in your friends, and everybody hurts. Don't throw your hands, no, oh no. When you feel like you're alone, well, no, you're not alone. No, you're not alone. If you feel like you're alone in this life, days and nights are long. When you think you've had too much of this life, hang on. Well, everybody hurts. Nearly there, guys. And everybody cries, and everybody hurts sometimes. So hold on, hold on. No, you're not alone. Hold on. Hold on, everybody hurts. You get the idea, right? So build up. Now, sorry for going on there. I didn't actually, when I first started playing that, I didn't intend to play the whole song, but I was enjoying it so much and I thought it kind of illustrated a couple of things. Now, if I've just played that all the way through with a particular strum, say the island strum, it wouldn't have much personality. But notice there, I did lots. There was finger picking to start off with. There was simple gentle strumming. There was straight eights, and I'll explain all of these soon. And then there were some more interest triplet rhythms. And did you see how the song kind of crescendoed and weaved, and it kept the interest? And for me, that's the biggest one really, in terms of not thinking strum patterns and obsessing over them. If you can think in terms of rhythm and do some more different things, you can make your songs much, much more interesting. But as I say, the brilliant thing is also, hi Laura, there are really cool ways to make your playing sound better and easier, which is absolutely fantastic. It's a win-win, right? So let's have a look. Let's have a think about how we're going to work out how to strum if we're not obsessing over patterns. So the first thing we need to do is think about the time signature. And again, this is easy to kind of overlook. I've often heard bands play songs through and I think, why is it sounding so wrong? I can't get my head around it. It just doesn't quite sound right. And sometimes it's because it's a song that's in 6/8 time and they're playing it common time, or sometimes they've missed that something is a waltz. There's all sorts of reasons basically. So it's really important. Oh, thanks, Michelle. Thank you, Joe. It's really, really important to pay attention to that. So in terms of the time signature, I've got a whole lesson on this on the site if you're interested, but just think of it simply. The top number is how many beats there are in a bar. So that means, for instance, in 3/4, there's 3 beats. You can think of that as 3 simple down strums at its most basic. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So an example of that might be My Bonnie. My Bonnie lies over the ocean. There is it. My Bonnie lies over the sea. See, we've got those 3 strums. Normal time signatures, common time is 4/4. That just means we would have 4 strums. I'm going under and this time I fear there's no one to save me. For instance, Lewis Capaldi's Someone You Loved, which we're going to look at earlier. So that would be simple down strums on the beat, 4 of those every measure. Then we get to some what we call compound time signatures. Again, don't sweat the theory, don't panic. Doesn't mean anything fancy other than that these strums can be broken down, or rhythms can be broken down into groups of 3. What do I mean by that? Well, 6/8 you can think as 2 times 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay? Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 12/8 is 4 groups of 3. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. That's all compound is. It's just groups of 3s. So have a think about the time signature first, and then just have a little play along. So for example, let's just play, this won't play very loud or amazingly clear, but just to give an example, let's pick a song. Let's do Someone You Loved by Lewis Capaldi. Let's play that first. Don't know if this is picking up. I'm going under in this time I feel there's no one to save me. So even if we don't have the sheet music, we can think about what rhythm this is by tapping or clapping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you see how it's groups of 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that one we could know is in 4/4 time in normal common time, and that means we can strum it really simple with 4 down strums. I'm going under and this time I fear there's no one to save me. If you want to have a go at that, the chords for this one are really simple. Just C, G, A minor, and F. Victoria's got a great question. Hi Mark, by the way. Victoria's just asking, how would we know if something is 3/4 or 6/8? This is a tricky one. I can explain, and I'll go into more detail in another video. You can find a video on my beginner's course on 6/8 timing. But basically the difference between 6/8 and 3/4 is that 3/4 has one strong pulse. We're going to talk about the pulse in a minute. It's like a musical heartbeat. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you can think of it as having one really strong pulse. Whereas 6/8 time has a strong pulse, 1, 2, 3, and then a weaker pulse on 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. You often hear it in the drums because a drummer will often hit a big beat, like with the bass drum on 1, boom, and then a light beat, maybe a cymbal crash on 4, bum, 2, 3, 5, 6, bum, 2, 3, 5, 6, bum, 2, 3, 5, 6, versus bum, 2, 3, bum, 2, 3, bum, 2, 3. So it takes a little while to kind of get used to some of these, some of the time signatures, but that's the main thing. That's where it comes in. That's brilliant, Laura. That's what we want. That's what we want. Yeah. And Joe, that's always good as well. Yeah, all those music lessons, they come back to us. So let's think about how to make things easier then. Let's think about a really simple 4/4 song. We'll start with Lewis Capaldi's Someone You Love because it's really, really sweet and we just listened to it. So we worked out that it was 4/4 time because you could clap 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now let's think, is there a lot of syncopation there? Does it sound like it's got a real groove to it, or is it more straightforward sounding? Let's listen again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's quite straight, isn't it? It's quite straightforward. So by syncopation, we mean kind of an interesting rhythm that takes it away from the main beat. Something like you know, that ragtime syncopation or maximum syncopation, which is a reggae strum where they play the exact opposite of on the on beat. But this is really nice, straightforward. Common time, it's just straightforward 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Now, the other thing which is really, really important is to have a think about, is a song straight time or swing time? Swing times are really, again, it's one of those concepts that's quite hard to grasp. But basically it means we're playing slightly behind the beat. It gives it a kind of a lilting rhythm. It was made popular by players in the 40s, people like, let's think, like Glenn Miller and, you know, all those, and who's the clarinetist with the swing bands, all that kind of stuff. It was basically invented in a way by Louis Armstrong in the 1920s. So he would take a straight rhythm like da 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 da, and he would play that as da 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 dippity da 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 dippity da. So more kind of interesting and kind of having that syncopation in. We can think about it as the way we strum. Oh, thanks, Karen. You saved me. That was exactly who I was thinking of. Benny Goodman and his swing bands. You know, they used to really, really swing, didn't they? And the way we do this on the ukulele more often than not is just a simple up and down swing strum, right? You've probably done this a million times. And you might think that sounds quite straight, right? But see if you can notice the difference. If it was totally straight, it would sound like this. Versus, I'll do that again. Straight. Swung. So what's happening in swing, in effect, physically what's happening on our ukulele is the fingers are coming down and then there's a slight pause before it comes back up again. So rather than being exactly the same both ways, we get this little. Do you see that? It's almost like the fingers getting stuck in treacle down the bottom. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, rather than 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now sometimes that's indicated on the song sheet. Can you see about the 4th line down there, we've got some symbols. You don't have to read sheet music, but it basically says that 2 quavers equal a crotchet in a quaver. So the first down strum would be a crotchet and the next one would be a quaver. I couldn't say it, was like a tongue twister then. But that's often a symbol that we use to designate swing. Sometimes it will just say, sometimes you can feel it. So think about this song. We'll listen to Lewis Capaldi again. I'll keep it playing. Think about, is it swinging or is it straight?
I need somebody to hear, somebody to know, somebody to have, somebody to hold. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you numbed all the pain, now the day blink.
Now I would think of that as quite straight, because it's not like I'm going under and this time I fear there's no one to save me. It would feel lumpy if I put a swing strum in, wouldn't it? Whereas if I keep it straight, I'm going under and this time I fear there's no one to save me. It sounds a lot better. So before you perform any of this, thinking about patterns, and again, another reason to avoid them in terms of obsessing about those ups and downs, is the fact that you can get a feel for the song first. Is it in swing time or is it in straight? That's really important. Then think about, is there any syncopation there? Syncopation often comes up as chucks on the ukulele, maybe. So that takes us away from the main beat. It could be like that kind of ragtime style chuck, or like I say, could be the reggae strum, where we strum on the ands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and things like don't worry about a thing. Notice the strums on the offbeat, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. And 2 and 3 and 4 and the strum goes on the and. So that's another thing to think about. And then I've also just put just a little reminder, think about the tempo of the song. Obviously we want to match how fast they're playing. That's really important. Shell's come up with a really good question where he says, what would you say is the difference between a shuffle strum and a swing strum? That's really interesting. It's kind of hard to say. I would say a shuffle has a more exaggerated swing, and it tends to be that we move chords on every 2 beats. I'll give you an example. So a classic blues shuffle might be like something like, see how I'm moving every 2 beats? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Whereas a swing strum is just a lot more straightforward. So that's where I would think of it, Shell. But they're pretty much the same thing. They're very, very, very similar. It's more to do with how and when you change chords or kind of notes, I would say. So we know that our song that we're starting with, Someone You Loved, is in 4/4 time. We know the rough tempo because we can tap along with it. And now we just need to find the beat and strum on it. So what I would do before, I would listen to a song, and this is really, really important, and I would just start to tap on my uke. So you could turn your uke backwards, you could clap if you prefer, and just clap where you think the beat is. Okay. So it's about there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's a lot easier when you're playing with a song that has drums in it, because then you can really lock onto the drums. I find that quite difficult actually, because it's quite an abstract rhythm. But notice we've got that lovely 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first thing you do when you're trying to work out how to play a song is just play the basic beats. Let's bring let's just do it on one chord first. So we've got some examples down here. This is a kind of a more musical way of writing out beats. And what we do is we just put a slash mark for a strum. Now, it doesn't matter at the moment whether these are up strums or down strums. Just think of them as a strum or a beat. So in that first example for 4/4 time, which is what we're going to do today, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, exactly, Barbara. We're going to use that in a minute to get the musical pulse as well. Clapping's a really good way to kind of learn the rhythm of a piece. Really, really important. Yeah, Victoria's great, isn't she? So I'm just going to mute the strings with my left hand. Don't press or you'll get a jazz chord. Just keep it really muted and just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. You can actually do that whilst playing the music if you like. I won't do it now because there's so much I want to show you, but you can have a little practice later on if you want. Okay, so this line we just have some examples. So the first one is 4/4 time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice there's 4 strums per measure. The next one is 3/4 time. So we would strum 3 times per measure. This is for a waltz. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And the next one, we've got 6 beats. So if we're playing this at the same tempo as 3/4, we've got to put in twice as many in each measure, haven't we? So it has a thicker sounding strum. So this one we're going to strum quicker. All down strums I'm going to suggest for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, I don't want to overcomplicate things with strum patterns and thinking about musical terms, but notice that 6/8 time is the only one we've looked at so far with an 8 down the bottom rather than the 4. We've got 4/4, 3/4 and 6/8. The number represents the type of beat that we play. So 4/4 means 4 crotchets or 4 quarter notes. What does that mean? Again, like complicated musical terms. But it's not when you think about it. It just means quarter of a bar, quarter beat. Think of it as just a standard 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or crotchets in old money. And then the 8 down the bottom in 6/8 time means you're basically going to do twice as many. You can think of them almost as twice as quick, okay? So those are 8th notes or quavers, so you get more of them faster. 1 and 2 and 3. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, don't sweat it too much, but just notice that change in feel as we go to 6/8 time. Okay, and we can think about this. This leads me on to thinking about kind of phonetically how we would count this. Count this as walk, 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 walk. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So at its simplest, if we were going to have a look at this Someone You Love, this is a very old sheet. No, let me bring in a newer one. Let me bring in something that looks a little bit better. Now, I did this a little while ago and I realised that in this font, it's almost impossible to tell the difference between C and G. So apologies in advance for that. But that's fine, okay? Because it's a really simple chord progression to remember. It pretty much all the verses and choruses go C, G, A minor and F. It's one of the most common chord progressions in all of Bond music. The 1 chord, the 5 chord, the 6 chord and the 4 chord. So if we're going to strum those with those simple down strums, that would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, C. 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, A minor, 2, 3, 4. Try it with me, guys. Just really simple. I'm going under, and this time I fear there's no one to save me. This all or nothing really got a way of driving me crazy. I need somebody to hear, somebody to know, somebody to have, somebody to hold. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you numbed all the pain. Okay. Now, if you're just beginning, I bet most of you can do that easy peasy lemon squeezy, but if you're just beginning and you find the chord changes difficult, allow yourself to go wrong with your fretting hand. So if it sounds a bit like this, where you're not dead on the chord straight away, that's better than... Because if you do those pauses, you're going to teach yourself to play out of time. So just allow yourself, give yourself a break, basically. And if your hand isn't ready on the chord, just keep strumming anyway and keep it going really, really consistently. Now, already, I think, even if this was... We're going to do way more interesting stuff. But even if this was all you did, if you played that perfectly in time, really, really nicely, in my humble opinion, it sounds better than a more complex strum pattern played not that well. If you're full of anxiety and you're kind of, you know, not saying anyone strums like this, but you might do. I may have done in the past, you know, when you're learning because you're full of anxiety. If I was playing, I'm going under, and this time I fear there's no one to save me. That sounds way worse, doesn't it, then? I'm going under, and this time I fear there's no one to save me. So sometimes less is more. And when I do jazz music, a lot of times I find this really interesting, that when I play jazz music, people ask me for my strum patterns because they find it really lovely. And basically I'm just doing down strums. Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars, with a little bit of a muting. And that sounds more effective than fly me to the moon, you know, something more complicated. So again, simple is really, really good. So that gives us the basic beat of a song that we can play along with. So what do we do next to make it sound much more interesting and more like there's something fancy going on, you know, something nice? Well, the next thing we're going to think about is adding the offbeat. What does the offbeat mean? Well, the offbeat is literally the ands in between your numbers if you're counting. So if you think about what we're doing at the moment as 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the offbeat are your ands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Oh, that's weird. Somebody's saying the voice sync has gone. Let me know, guys, if it's all of you or just some of you. Oh, it does seem like it's happened to everyone. What I would suggest is just give your computer a little refresh. Sometimes that does that helps. I don't think it's my iPad shouldn't be coming through. Give me a sec, guys, see if I can work it out. There we go. How's that? Testing. 1, 2, 3. Let's take this off, make sure that that's not on. Ah, cool. If you refresh, guys, it seems to do it. So just hit refresh. I don't know what happened there. Maybe my, maybe it just was just playing up or something. The wonders of modern technology, eh? It's great when it works, but sometimes it does funny things. Cool. So just, if you're getting any sync problems and what I'm saying doesn't match my mouth, just hit refresh and you should be good to go. So hitting that offbeat just means that we strum on the offbeats as well as the upbeats. And let's just think of it like this. Downbeats would be 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be walk, 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 walk. Then if we want to hit the off strums, we could either do it with ups, walking, walk. I kind of actually think of this as running, 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 right? Or you could even do them as down, all down strums. Running, 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 running. Okay, so just the on beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. On and off beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Does that make sense, guys? I've also done a version there that you can see for 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, just notice we're consistently strumming up and down. Now this is really key, guys. I'm just going to take a quick sip of very cold coffee. Oh, that really is quite cold. Sorry, guys. Talk amongst yourselves. I won't be a sec, I promise. Ooh. I think I got really dehydrated out in Spain, and my throat keeps getting really dry. So just in case you wonder why I've got such a big mug of coffee. Okay, so this is going to be really empowering soon, because when we put this together with our own patterns, you'll see that basically everything that we do is going to consist of either walks or runnings. Running, 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 walk. Or running. Okay, you'll see in a minute. Bear with me. You'll see it will sound really, really lovely. So let's try doing that on the. Oh, Victoria, you're so right. You are so right, Victoria. I'm gonna ask Sharon if I can have one for my next birthday. Yeah, totally, Barbara. I think that's why people like Louis Armstrong were such amazing players, because they just felt it from the start, didn't they? Absolutely. So let's go back to Lewis Capaldi. I'll bring it up again. Here it is. I'll put this in the link in the description at the end, so you've got it there. But remember, apart from the bridge, it's the same chords over and over: C, G, A minor, F. Okay. Now before we were doing down strums for walks. Walk, 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 walk. Now what I want you to do this time is I want you to add the runnings in. So that means we're going to strum either twice as quick by going down, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, or you can do it as ups and downs, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Remember, this song has no swing in it, so we want almost like a robot. So that gives us our offbeat chords. We can think of that as running, 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 running. Makes sense, guys? Now, my favourite way to play this, what we often call straight eights, that just means lots of those quick beats or quavers or eighth notes, is to just very lightly strum down with my nails of my strumming arm. Instead of using 1, I tend to use 2 or 3, and I very lightly strum down very lightly over the strings like so. Okay. Notice that the movement is mostly coming from the elbow, not too much wrist on this strum, keeping it nice and light. And the other thing to notice is I don't strum a big strum down over all of the strings like so. Let me just move this slightly. Oh, wrong way. There we go. I don't do a big strum down like so. Sometimes I'm only touching the top 2 or 3 strings. Okay, really nice like that, yeah? Fantastic. Danny Davis saying guitar for hobbits. Well, I've got hobbit feet, so why not, eh? So let's go back to our Lewis Capaldi, and now let's put this strum pattern in. It should sound really, really sweet. Let's give it a go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So this is going to give us 8 fast strums, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and on every chord. I'll show you what I mean. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and G, A minor, I'm going under and this time I fear there's no one to save me. This all or nothing really got a way of driving me crazy. Come and join in if you've got your uke. Somebody to hear, somebody to know, somebody to have, somebody to hold. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you numbed all the pain. Now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. I let my guard down and you pulled the rug. I was getting kinda used to being someone you loved. Danny, you just actually read my mind there, because I was actually tapping my foot as we went along there, and I was thinking I should tell people that. Now, this is the only disadvantage of my new teaching room as opposed to my old one. My old one had laminate floors, so you'd really hear my foot taps really loudly. But it's a really good idea. Dennis dead right is to tap your foot as you go in. So I would tend to tap on the 1, 2, 3 and 4. This will drive my wife mad downstairs because she's probably in a work meeting and all she's going to hear is boom, boom, boom. But it would sound something like this. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hear that? It's a really good way to help you keep in time that consistent 1, 2, 3, 4. Part of the reason this strum can be quite difficult for some people is we haven't got anything to latch onto in terms of emphasis. We haven't got a pulse yet because we're strumming every beat with the same pattern, and that's really nice because it builds up like a tension, doesn't it, in the verse, which is really beautiful. But sometimes we might want to put a pulse on. I'll show you what I mean. The pulse is the musical heartbeat in a piece of music. We'll come back to this thickening up with 16th notes in a minute. I'll teach you that in a second, but let's have a look at the next page. So the pulse is like the musical heartbeat. You can often think about it as where you would clap in a piece of music. So for instance, when we're doing this one, we could go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. See the little kind of arrows going to the right? That can be thought of as an accent marker where you would just push a little bit harder. But for now, just think about it as a clap. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So we're putting 2 pulses in this 4/4 beat. In 3/4, more often than not, we just put a pulse on the first beat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And now we do have an example in 6/8 time as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that goes back to the earlier thing where I think Victoria was asking me about 6/8 or 3/4. Notice that 6/8 generally we put 2 pulses in a measure, whereas 3/4 we have 1. And in 6/8 that second pulse tends to be a little bit lighter. Don't sweat that too much, basically. If we were strumming, we could count that like so. Let's just go back into that. Running, 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 running. So we can just push a little bit harder on 1 and 3. I'll show you what I mean. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now, having that pulse, it gives us something to kind of link onto in terms of like the groove, which can be really nice. Oh, thanks, Concrete Forest. And what a cool name. I love that. That's such a cool name. That's really kind of you to say. Thank you. Thanks. So now what we can do, this is where things start getting a bit strum patterny, but we're not thinking about downs and ups, right? We're just thinking about rhythms. What we can do is we can highlight that pulse rather than just strumming harder by not putting another strum after it. So remember, we've got walks, we've got running, Shell's asking it. He wonders how Doctor Who would manage learning pulse beats. Oh, did you watch the Doctor Who this week? It was really good. It's nice to have it back. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide our strumming into walks or runnings, and we're going to put a walk on the first beat of every measure to provide a pulse, if you like, on the first beat of every measure. And that's showed diagrammatically down here on the first two measures here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to strum walk. You could think of it as a down, but technically that walk, right, could be an up. But the important thing is just think about it as one strum. Walk. And then for the rest of the measure, we're going to do our running, running, running. Okay, so that could be walk, running, 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 walk, running, 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 walk, running, 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 walk, running, running, running. With some chords, that could sound like this. Right, really simple. So now we've got a pulse on every beat. Thanks, Concrete Forest. Thank you. Give me an email. You'll find all my contact details on the website. If you're looking for a new ukulele, I'll give you some objective advice on what might be a good brand and size and stuff like that. I no longer have a ukulele shop, so you know I'm completely unbiased now, all right, and no affiliation. So if you're interested in sourcing a uke, give us a shout and I'll send you to the right places. So that gives us a pulse now. So that gives you something to really get into the groove. Walk, running, 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 walk, running, 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 walk, running, running, running. That's often taught as the island strum. That's the way people often describe this. But again, you don't have to think about down, down, up, down, up, down, up. Just count those phonetically. Walk, running, 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 walk, running, 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 walk, running, running, running. And then basically from there, you don't need any strum patterns ever. What? That sounds crazy, right? But what if I told you that basically every strum pattern in the world was just a combinations of walks and runnings in different orders? That's basically it. Now, sometimes we leave out specific strums on specific beats, like an offbeat and stuff. But at the most basic, that's what we've got. So 4/4 time, you could do walk, running, 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 walk, running, running, running. Waltz, you just do one less running. Walk, running, running, walk, running, running. How cool is that? You can basically create your own strum patterns. And you could vary it up, because rather than just having walk, running, 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 for an example down here, I haven't written it out. Or have I? No, I haven't. But you could try walk, running, running, walk, walk, running, running, walk, walk, running, running, walk. And each of these patterns will have a different feeling depending on where you put the walks, basically, which is really sweet. So that's the way I like to think about it. Walks and runnings. Don't stress the downs and ups. Have a great time for ukulele and relax into it. Now, there's various ways you can do this. Oh, yeah, there is an example of walk, running, running, walk. For example, here, it shows you how you can mix it up even further. So you know how, again, this is why strum patterns sometimes frustrate me, because sometimes students and groups, not through their own fault, but will say, what's the strum pattern for a song? But when you listen to great guitarists and ukulele players, sometimes the strum pattern won't even last for one measure. Sometimes it changes on the next measure. So for example, look at this one down here, down the bottom. If I play, just don't worry about the 3/4 version, just look at the first two measures. Here I'm changing strum pattern every measure. Walk, running, walk, running, walk, running, running, walk. Okay, again, easy peasy lemon squeezy. We're just using walks and running, not thinking about downs or ups. Okay, walk, running, walk, running, walk, running, running, walk. Try it for me, guys. 2, 3, 4. Walk, running, walk, running, walk, running, running, walk. 1, 2, 3, 4, walk, running, walk, running, walk, running, running, walk. Fantastic, really, really nice. So there we're varying it up with the chords that sound like this. Lovely, we've got different things happening on different measures, which is really cool. So again, another reason not just to lock into something, to vary it up. Now I want to come back, we're going to come back to this in a little minute, and Karen, yeah, I'm going to talk about muting and chucking right at the end, so don't panic, stick with us guys. I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to show you some cool, yay, me too Michelle, me too, totally. And it's just like, it just relaxes you if you're ukulele playing. And when you relax and you love your ukulele and you don't get anxious, it just makes it so much easier. Okay. Now, the other thing we can do is we can thicken things up with 16th notes. And you might think, what the heck is a 16th note? Just think as a quarter note as 1/4 of a measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's your walks. The runnings, you can think of them as 8th notes. They're an 1/8 of a measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can fit 8 of them in a measure basically, or we prefer to count them as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, right? Now 16th notes is tricky, right? But you have to strum twice as fast, and then you can get cauliflower, 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 cauliflower. What? And that's just like a very fast running. So if you imagine running, 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 if you do that twice as quick, and this sounds crazy, but trust me, say the word cauliflower in your head over and over. Cauliflower, 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 cauliflower. Now we're using vegetables to stay in time rather than downs and ups. Cauliflower, 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 cauliflower. Now that allows you to really thicken up your strum. And this comes back to what I did in REM's song, and we can put this in Lewis Capaldi's song as well. We'll probably mostly stick with Lewis Capaldi today because I've realised that I'm rambling on and putting quite a lot of detail in, which I think is really useful. So what do I mean by this? What can I do with this? So have a listen. I could start the song with just simple down strums. I'm going under and this time I fear there's no one to save me. This all or nothing really got a way of driving me crazy. Then I could put the runnings in. Somebody to hear, somebody to know, somebody to have, somebody to hold. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you numbed all the pain. Now listen, day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not there to get me through it all. Can you hear it starting to thicken up? And that's the use of 16th strums. Now, you might think I can never do that, that's too hard. You might think it really easy. But if you really think about it, this is a really simple thing to do, because every time you do a running, remember we're doing quick runnings, aren't we, like this? Running, 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 running. If you're doing all of those as down strums, like so, running, 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 well, your hand is already coming up for another down strum, right? Down, 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 down. So all you need to turn them into 16th notes is when you come back up, touch on the way back up. So instead of down, 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 I have down, 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 down. All right, so running, 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 cauliflower, 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 cauliflower. Try it. It sounds crazy, but it works. Running, 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 cauliflower, 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 cauliflower. Running, 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 cauliflower, cauliflower, It's that simple. Now, what I would say is don't put that cauliflower for a whole section. If I did the whole of that chorus with cauliflowers, oh, that sounds crazy, but it works. That would sound like this. It's kind of too much. So what I would tend to do is I would just put those cauliflowers in here and there. I'll show you what I mean. I'll come in from this verse into this chorus. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you help me escape. Now the day bleeds cauliflower pointing to nightfall running, and you're not here to get me through it all. I'll let my guard down. See how you can vary it. And basically the way I think about it is when I'm really pushing in a song, when I really... where I really feel the emotion and I really want to push through, that's when I start doing those cauliflowers, if you like, those 16th notes. And it really provides a push, which is really, really lovely and really, really fantastic. Okay. So let's just kind of give you a chance to practice some of that. Let's play through Someone You Loved really simply from top to bottom. I'm going to talk about chucking and muting in a minute. Karen, we won't go into rasgados or triples yet because that's just a bit too much for today. But I'll show you some muting and chucking. But just for now, let's try playing this through and start adding those dynamics in. So I'm going to do walks. I'm going to go running. And then I'm going to eat some cauliflowers, okay? Then I might bring it back down to running. And here in the in the middle 8 where it goes to D minor and A minor, this bit's relatively simple, guys. It's just D minor here. I tend to close my eyes. That one that looks like a C is a G at the end. Again, I'll do this in a different font later. Fall into your arms. So D minor, A minor, and G, okay? And then see where it says N C at the start of the next line? That means no chord. So after you hit the G here, come back around, just let it hang, and then come back in on Day Bleeds on the C. You'll see what I mean. It kind of, yeah, exactly, Angela. No worries, Steve. See you again later, mate. No worries, no worries. So yeah, and Steve was just saying, just tune in, he'll catch the beginning later on. Remember, if you are new to these and you haven't watched one before, you can watch the replays of these whenever you want. They're literally going to be up forever. So if you missed it or if you want to go over this again, do revisit it. I find I have to watch videos 6 or 7 times before I get everything. It's just the way I work. And I archive all these live lessons. If you visit my website, click on live lessons. There's literally hundreds of them and you can work through them whenever you want, basically, if you want to dip into them. But let's just give it a go. I'll give you an example of how it works. I'll come in on close camera so you can see how I'm strumming. Just experiment. That's all I want you to do. Just experiment. So I'm going to do something like this. Oh, good, Stephen. Thanks, mate. So we can just do a 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going under, and this time I fear there's no one to save me. This all or nothing really got a way of driving me crazy. Add a few runnings in like this. Need someone to heal, somebody to know, somebody to have, somebody to hold. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you numbed all the pain. Now running, now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. I let my guard down, then you pulled the rug. I was getting kinda used to being someone you loved. See, I'm building, now back down. I'm going under, and this time I fear there's no one to turn to. This all or nothing way of loving got me sleeping without you. I need somebody to have, somebody to hold, somebody to have, just to know how it feels. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda liked you when you helped me escape. Now the day bleeds, hits cauliflowers into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. I let my guard down, then you pulled the rug. I was getting kinda used to being someone you love. D minor. Day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. I let my guard down, and you pulled the rug. I was getting kinda used to being someone you love. Now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not got down, and you pulled the rug. I was getting kinda used to being someone you love. I let my guard down, then you pulled the rug. I was getting kinda used to being someone you love. 2, 3, 4. There we go. So right at the end there, I'd even broken it down to walks just once per measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Really lovely, right? Now, excuse my horrible squawking. That song's not in a very nice key for me, but if you play it in that key, it's easier to play in terms of the chords. But did you see how we kind of turned a song that could have been like this all the way through, which is it's a yawn fest, right? And we were just using walks, runnings, and cauliflowers, right? And we got loads of dynamics. We got a push, we got that tension going into the first chorus. Then we brought it back down again. We got that real push going into the next one, and then we really hammered it in that middle 8, and then we brought it right back down again. And this is what you want to get into your playing. Think rhythm and dynamism rather than strum patterns. And it doesn't matter whether you're on an up or a down, because I could have done those as all ups. We obsess, don't we, on whether we're on an up or a down, but it's not about that. It's about the rhythm. That's really key. Now, so we thought about kind of how to leave out notes to make things a little bit more interesting. We've put in a pulse to kind of thicken things up and make things interesting. We've used 16th notes to really thicken things up, which is lovely. We've used the pulse, to break things up, such as that walk, running, okay? What about those weird strum patterns? Let's have a think about some unusual ones here at the back, just to kind of give you some tools for your arsenal. And I did say arsenal. So let's have a look. What about maximum syncopation? Yeah, exactly. But that's it, Michelle. I've been to so many clubs where everyone plays a calypso strum on everything, which sometimes sounds really nice. But sometimes it just ruins the feel of the song. Calypso sounds lovely on some things, doesn't it? Like Nice Islands, kind of Somewhere Over the Rainbow or something like that sounds really lovely, but not on a modern pop song necessarily. Anyway, here's some unusual ones. So the reggae strum is where we play the exact opposite of the beats. So remember we had 1, 2, 3, 4. What's the exact opposite of that? It's playing the ands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, that's really tricky, right? because you've got to strum when you feel like you shouldn't, because our ears are just drawn to those beats, so we want to hit 1, 2, 3, 4. But here's a cool one for reggae strum, and I've kind of shown the symbols up here. The little tiny ones that look like, I don't know what they look like. What do those look like? Someone tell me. Let's have a look, see if we can make it really big. Not those ones up there. I guess they look like little kind of quavers or little commas, I guess. But those little ones are your rests, okay? But it's really hard to not do anything on a beat. So we can turn a negative into a positive. What we're going to do is on those rests, we're going to very gently, let me just move this temporarily to the side. We're going to very gently just touch the top of our ukulele with our hand. Now, you have to be a little bit careful here because I'll show you later if I get time. But my touring ukulele, it's made by a guy called Phil Davidson, and I love it to bits. I take it everywhere. But I'm not overly precious with it. My touring ukulele, because it comes everywhere with me, has a bit here where I've almost worn through the wood because I wear this ring. And then when I tap on it, I actually wore through the surface. And I think it's great because it looks kind of well used and everything. And it's thanks, Laura. I wish my son loved cauliflower. Maybe I need to make it musical for him. But yeah, so if you're having a go at this, long story short, and you've got rings on this hand, take them off just temporarily. You're still married, don't worry, I've still got that one, but just take them off. What we're going to do is we're just going to move our hand in and tap the top of our uke like this. And we're going to do that on the beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay? Now really simply for the up strum, what we're going to do is after we've tapped down like this, we're just going to bring, I just use my index finger, we're just going to bring a finger over the strings. In slow-mo, that will look like this. Now the reason we call that maximum syncopation is we're the exact opposite of the beat. The beat is a tap, 1, and we strum on and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, give it a try me. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So if you ever want that kind of really cool kind of reggae strum, you can either do it lilting and slow, or you can get a real groove on like this. So that's a lovely syncopation. That works for things like, I don't know the chords tricks, I can't remember off the top of my head, but you know, like obla-di obla-da. Desmond had a market. I can't remember the words now. Desmond had a da-da in the marketplace. That's it. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So on and so forth. I like to use that on things like Three Little Birds. If you want to have a go at this, the verse for Three Little Birds is just C. For, I think, 4 measures, then F, back to C. Give it a go with me, guys. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing, whoops, is gonna be alright. One chord there. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing's gonna be alright. Woke up this morning, G, smiled with the rising sun. C, 3 little birds. F, drift by my doorstep. C, singing sweet songs. G, of melodies pure and true. F, singing, this is my message to you. Let's do one more. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing's gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing's gonna be alright. Yeah, amazing, right? Okay, so that's given us loads of tools that we can do for loads and loads of songs. It's really exciting. What about those chucks? Now that maybe that's kind of a little bit more tricky, isn't it? We often get these kind of, you know, this. It's a tricky one, isn't it, when we put those chucks in, and it really throws people. But what if we could make that more simple as well? Well, we can. I'll show you. Again, rather than obsessing with downs and ups, let's think about a simple rhythm, okay? And the rhythm that I want you to use for this one is and running, okay? Now you can either do that down, or you can do it as up, down, up. It really doesn't matter. I find it nice to go up, down, up, okay? But I'm running, okay? Next, what we're going to do is we're going to take our finger, we're going to play a C chord, and we're going to put that together. So we're going to go, I'm running. The rhythm. Let's do that again. I'm running. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take this finger here, or any of our fingers, we're going to put them on the strings, and we're not going to press, we're just going to touch the strings. And we're also going to let all the tension go out of this finger. Okay, so you're not going to squeeze with it like we do when we do a chord. You're going to let all the tension go out, so we get a chuck sound. Okay, chuck, chuck, chuck. Now if we put them together, you just have to count, I'm running, chuck, I'm running, chuck, I'm running, chuck. That chuck's going to take some practice if you're new to it. Don't worry, no, it'll come eventually. But look at that. Now just using a rhythm, rather than stressing about ups and downs, we've got a chuck strum now. And you can use that for all sorts, okay? So if I wanted to do that on Three Little Birds, that would sound like this. I'll just get the C going. Don't worry about a thing. And then on an F, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about a thing. No worries, Angela. Take care. 'Cause every little thing is gonna be alright. And that chuck is providing a syncopation. It makes things more interesting. Sometimes you'll do, instead of think of it as like little triplets, and 1 and 2 and 1 and 3 and so on and so forth. Sometimes they'll just do 2 beats on the first one. That will sound like this. You can think of that and walk, chuck, and running, walk, chuck. Sorry, I did that again. I said the wrong thing. And walk, chuck, and running, chuck, and walk, chuck, and running, chuck, and walk, chuck, and running, chuck. And it's amazing. A really, really simple rhythm. You can do so much. And when you hear all those kind of fancy pants ukulele players, right? You might see someone do something like this. I'm going to be all fancy pants, right? That wasn't very good, but you get the idea. And you might seem like super fast, just kind of. And you might think, what the heck? How would I ever do that? But that ragtime strum that people do is exactly what you're doing already. I'm running chuck, I'm running chuck. But just really fast. might think, whoa, I'll never be able to do that. But if you can play something slow, let's do it again. I'm running, chuck, I'm running, chuck. If you can play something really slow like that, and just increase the tempo just a little bit every day, you can do it. It just takes practice and dedication. Just do a little bit each day and just get a little bit faster, and you'll be able to play that ragtime strum. You'll be able to play Somewhere Over the Rainbow with that really lovely lilt chuck. And you realise that these things are so much easier than they appear. Barbara, you know how normally I go, if it sounds good and feels good, it is good. I think learning to chuck with that hand is great if you can chuck using this hand. Okay, but I would learn to use your fingers as well, Barbara, and this goes for everyone. It's just that Barbara asked a brilliant question, or kind of mentioned a brilliant subject. The reason being, if you chuck with this hand, when you're doing kind of the island strum chuck, you can do it because it's nice and slow. Okay, just sounds really sweet. But if you wanted to do that ragtime strum, I don't, not even sure if I could physically do it. Whereas by using these fingers, you can go crazy fast, all right? So I would learn, if you could, I would learn at least this technique, or just this technique, or learn both, because you don't want to just do this one, because it is going to kind of later on, it's going to stop you doing other things later on. So yeah. Ah, brilliant, Pam. That's fantastic. That's fantastic to hear. So yeah, cool. So think about doing, you really want to learn both. It's a bit like anything in life. It's almost about what we're talking about, really, isn't it? You kind of, you want to kind of add varieties in, so you're not just kind of learning one way of doing things. Now, there's other things that you can do then to kind of zhuzh up your strumming, if you like. I hate that term. I don't know why I use it, zhuzh up. It just sounds so cheesy, doesn't it? I use it all the time without thinking. So you could do things like this. You could do a touch strum. You might have heard people doing that. And you might think, oh, that's really sophisticated. But all a touch strum is, you touch the G string on the way down, just that one, and then you do a normal strum. I like to do a double strum. But notice, what have we got here? It's still walk, running, walk, running, walk, running, walk, running. Sometimes to emphasise that pulse we talked about, the first beat of every measure, some people roll their fingers over the strings. Not like a big kind of rasguardo, I can never pronounce that, but just a gentle, what I often called a rolled strum. And that's another way of thickening up that strum. So you could do walk, running, 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 walk, running, 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 walk, running, running, running. Okay. But it all comes back to counting that rhythms, and it all comes back to those walk and running. Just to finish, I want to show you somewhere where just to show that I'm not completely obsessed with this. I want to show you that sometimes strum patterns do have a use, and a classic example of that. No worries, Fran. Classic example. Take care. Good to see you. Classic example of that is that full calypso or island strum. Okay. Now that calypso strum sounds like this. Now that's still a combination of walk, running and running. It's still a combination of that, but we're missing out a beat, which makes it really difficult. I really wanted to show you this one, guys, because this is the strum that I get the most questions on and people really struggle with. And I can show you a real tip to make it way easier. Okay, so this is one where I am going to give you downs and ups just because it's the easiest way to describe it. But I'm going to give you a tip just to finish off on this one. I'll stick around for questions. Don't worry, guys. But this one, think of it as down, down, up, or you can think about it as walk, running. Okay, down, down, up, walk, running. And then what makes this one tricky is we start the next bit on an up strum generally, up, down, up. You can think of that as I'm running. So you can either think of it as down, down, up, down, up, or you can think about it as walk, running, and running. But here's the cool thing. This is the neat thing, the little trick, okay? What makes this really hard, again, a bit like the reggae strum, is if you're doing nothing on a strong beat, it goes against everything in our brain because we want to do something positive on an upbeat. So what we do for that beat that we've missed out, we're going to do a little mini windmill like this. Really exaggerating it. But did you see, after that third strum, I do a windmill. Down, down, up, and windmill. And that brings me back for another up. Down, down, up, around. Down, down, up, down, down, up. Walk, running, and running. Walk, running, and running. Walk, running, and running. Walk, running, and running. And you can speed it up. Now when you get rid of that, when you've got used to that strum, then you can get rid of the windmill. You'll have your lovely island calypso strum. But I just thought it was really important to show you that one, and that there are the rare occasions where thinking in terms of ups and downs can be beneficial. But generally, think about that rhythm, think about your walks and running, think about how you can highlight the pulse, whether that's with volume or missing out a strum after it. And then think about ways you can kind of thicken things up as well. And you'll realise that you don't need to learn strum patterns. And like I say, a really nice thing is to vary it as well. So I said I'd do it. So do you know what? I'm going to stay late and do it. You guys, I don't mind if anyone leaves now. You've been here for ages, right? But I'm just going to show you this REM song just quickly. Now, another nice thing to do is to mix up strum patterns and picking patterns. And that's a really lovely thing to do. Again, you don't have to think of one or the other. You can join them together. So this song's in 6/8 time. We talked about it at the start of the lesson. So that means 6 beats per measure. So I'm going to show you a really cool picking pattern. Okay. We're going to do this kind of finger style way, where our thumb's going to pick the G string going down. Index is going to pick up on C, middle up on E, and ring finger pick up on A. So thumb, first, second, third. Thumb, first, second, third. And what we're going to do is we're going to go down towards the A string. And then we're going to come back again in the opposite direction. Thanks, Leslie. The island strum and the calypso strum, they're basically the same thing, Leslie. Yeah, some people call them one, some people call the other. Some people call this one the island strum. Walk, running, running, running. And other people call this the island strum. They're kind of, so it's a bit confusing, but yeah. Well, I kind of think of the first one as the island strum, the second one as calypso, but don't sweat it too much. Just 2 different tools that you can use. So back to this picking pattern. No worries, Sarah. Have a brilliant time in Winchester and say hello to everyone from me. Okay. So that would give us... Then try changing to an F. This could be a little bit too advanced at the moment with picking. But notice how I get that lovely 6 beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you want to have a go at this REM song, try doing that in the first verse and chorus. you're just going to play C to F. That's the 1 to the 4 chord. Okay, so we could just have a go at that just ever so quickly with the lyrics. Yeah, let's just pop the lyrics up. So that will sound like this. When the day is long, F and C, and the night is yours alone. When you're sure you've had enough, don't worry if you can't do it right now, just give it a go, of this life, hang on. Now go D minor to G here, D minor. Don't let yourself go, G, D minor. 'Cause everybody cries, G. And everybody hurts. Now try doing straight 8s, those quick strums. Sometimes everything is wrong. Now it's time to sing along when you're day and night alone. Hold on, and you feel like letting go. I'm going to stick some cauliflowers in. Here we go. And you think you've had too much cauliflower of this life. Well, hang on. See how you get that build? D minor. 'Cause everybody hurts. D minor to G again. Take comfort in your friends. Now everybody hurts, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to do the whole song now, purely because, don't hate me please, I do have it in a separate tutorial, just search on my website. That's one of the things I meant to tell you. I've got a search function on the website now, so if you want to look up a song you can have a look, and it will come up with like Canacapella or Live Lesson, wherever I put it. But notice from going from that picking pattern to the straight 8s and then to those cauliflower, thickening it up, we've created loads of dynamism in the song, and that's what you want to do. What I'll do is I will put these full sheets, these ones I've got here for REM and Lewis Capaldi. It has the chords for the bridge as well. There's a couple of tricky chords, that's why I didn't do it just now. It's almost a lesson in itself. But you can have a go at this later on if you would like. And it also has the Lewis Capaldi song as well here, so you can have a little play of that. Each of these boxes is just a measure. That's the way to think about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang along, and I'm going to hang around and just see if I've got any questions at all for today. Thanks Stephen, thanks guys, thanks Leslie, yeah, just let me know if you've got any questions whatsoever, and I'm here to help. Don't forget, we do these lessons every fortnight, and if you can't watch them back, they're available forever as a replay. All right, you can follow the same link, but if you're not sure or you've lost one, just go to mattsteadukulele.com. You'll find my 10 courses on there. So we've got 10 courses: beginners, intermediate, next steps, uke theory. There's a course on the Beatles, there's a course on jazz and blues and how to look after your uke. It's all on there, mattsteadukulele.com. You can also download it as an app on your phone. You'll find it in Google Play and on the web store as well. But yeah, if you go there and just click live lessons and then fortnightly workshops, you'll find an archive of all of them. And as I say, next time we're going to do a really beautiful chord melody version of Can't Help Falling in Love. by Elvis, which is going to be fantastic. Elvis didn't write it. I can't remember who wrote it. I've got it on the sheet music. Full chord melody version with all the tablature will be available for that one on the website at no extra cost to my members. If you want to join up as a member, it's either £10 a month if you join annually, or £12 a month if you want to pay monthly. You can cancel whenever you want. You can dip in. You get everything as soon as you join up. It's not one of those annoying drip ones where you have to wait ages. You get access to all my arrangements and everything instantly. Or if you just want to do the first 3 courses, the ones to get you going, beginners, intermediate and advanced, that's £8 a month as well, so bargain, eh? Oh no, that one's £10 a month, I think. I get a bit confused, but you'll see that. Leslie's going to do it from the Queen Mary II Mid-Atlantic Ocean. That is amazing. Love it. Leslie, I've been following your photographs on Facebook and they look immense. You've been to some absolutely beautiful places, so that was lovely to see. Don't forget that I'll be back on Monday for our next Canacapila Mondays. These are between 6 and 9 o'clock. And these are 6 and 8 o'clock even every other Monday. And this is to kind of get you playing without sheet music. So we do have chord sheets, but I teach you how all the different chord combinations work so you can start to play by ear, which is really exciting. And if you ever wanted to do melody playing or chord melody finger style, I teach that every other Monday. And that'll be in a couple of weeks' time for the next one for that as well. Again, all on the website. Just look at live lessons under the website and you'll find it all then. Yeah, I think that's everything I needed to tell you about. If anyone fancies coming on a ukulele cruise with me, don't forget, we've got the ukulele cruise next year, which I'm super excited about, 13th to the 22nd of February. If anyone enjoyed my pictures from Spain and you feel like coming again, we're going to do another one in October and another one in May. All details about that soon when I get them from Matt from the Awesome Ukulele Academy. That's another Matt. There are a lot of us Matts in the ukulele world. Mad, isn't it? Oh, there we go. Plaisir d'amour, an old French song. And it was even that, Karen, was nicked. Wasn't Elvis. It was 3 different songwriters. I forget their name, but I've got them on the tabs if you're interested. But yeah. One more thing to tell you about. If any of you are into your merch, people have been asking me for t-shirts for ages, so I've finally got round to creating a merch stall, so you can get my ugly mug on, literally on a mug. You can get my ugly mug on a mug. There's t-shirts. If any of you are regular Canacapila-ists, there's a cool, oh, here it is. Look, there's an I Love Canacapila t-shirt. And some of these ship from the States and some of them from the UK, depending on where you are. So you can get them worldwide shipping. If you live in a country other than USA and the UK and you're on the website and it says it doesn't ship to you, it actually does. Just fill in your address and it will come to you. There's a cool one with the circle of fifths on, if anyone's interested. So check it out. That's in the shop on the website. You guys have been asking for a while. Oh, and I took some pictures as well to show you from Spain. This is a monarch butterfly that I found, which was really lovely. I love butterfly hunting. Oh, there's a swallowtail here as well that I wanted to show you. That's the view literally from the classroom where we teach in Spain. Isn't that lovely? And this is the village where we teach Gaucine. Yeah, Karen's quite right. The other thing is we have a couple of returns for our summer ukulele retreat. If anyone's interested, every year we have a forest ukulele retreat where we get the best tutors from around the world to come and teach you. You get taught by all these brilliant tutors, all in King Charles II, I think, hunting lodge. Might have been Charles I actually, in the middle of the Forest of Dean. Absolutely beautiful. We'll all get together. You meet all these online peeps. And this year we've got Peter Luongo, who taught James Hill how to play. He's amazing. We've got Sam Muir, a resident tutor, Jeff Peterson, a Grammy Award-winning musician from Hawaii, and we've also got Lester T. Webb, who's a brilliant musician coming up from Plymouth to teach you about clawhammer and all sorts of fun things like that. Get in touch if you're interested, because it sells out, but we've had, I think, 3 tickets returned, so do get in touch if you want to come to that. And if you aren't ready but you want to come to one of these events in the future, we've got our winter ukulele retreat, our Christmas ukulele retreat in December. And a lot of people seem to think that was sold out, but we've still got about 20 tickets left for that. So the Christmas ukulele retreat is still available. Just go to the website, click on events, and all the links are there for all these things. Okay, I think I'm rambling away and I can't see any questions. Just lots of nice comments, which is really, really kind and super sweet. If you enjoyed this teaching and you'd like to recommend it to your friends, that would really help. Or hit the thumbs up button on YouTube. It helps the algorithm, What's Me Jiggabee, pick it up, which would be fantastic. For those of you that are doing my Beatles course, just to let you know that I'm working on a new one. That's the last one, Long and Winding Road. But I'm working on a version of Let It Be as a chord melody, which is going to be really, really exciting. So I think I'm going to do a strummed version and a chord melody of that. So that'll be available in the next couple of weeks as well. So it's taken me a while because of Spain and everything, but we'll be back to that soon, and lots more to come, which is really exciting. Right, I'm going to love you and leave you, everyone. Take care, everyone, and happy uking. If you've got any questions, all my contact details are on my website. I love people getting in touch. It's not a problem. Just come and see me, and just let me know if I can help with anything. I'm always here to help. Otherwise, I'll see you in 2 weeks' time for our next live lesson, which I'm really excited about, or this coming Monday for our next Canicapila. Okay, everyone. Well, much love. Take care, and I will see you very soon. Bye, guys.